Okay. Hello everyone. Hope you are all are safe and sound. Myself Pankaj Singh Yadav. Uh, so today's our topic is mass Earth communication using orbital model approach. M- Mass Earth communication using Mars orbital model approach is based on providing a better mode of communication over a surface of Mars and for communication between Mars and Earth using a con- constellation of satellites on different orbits and maintaining their trajectory on a particular orbit will help not only in the settlement but also in the deep space communication. We will we will be using a system of relay satellite and will provide a solution for decreasing the distortion signals. Generally, the countries that are working for deep space have their own network. I will explain the current method that is used by NASA communication. It is the largest and most sensitive scientific telecommunication system in the world. The Deep Space Network, NASA International Array of giant radio antennas that support interplanetary spacecraft missions, plus a few that orbit Earth. The Deep Space Network also provides radar and radio astronomy observation that improve our understanding of solar systems and the large universe. The Deep Space Network consists of three facilities. Space is at equalized distance from each other, approximately 128 degrees apart in longitude around the Earth. These sites are at Goldstone, Boston, California, Mandarin, Spain, Australia. The trajectory placement of these sites permits constant communication with spacecraft as our planet rotates. Before a distant spacecraft sinks down the horizon at, at one deep space network site, another can pick up the signal and carry on communication. Why is the need? At the pre-elevation position at the distance as short as approximately 0.4, it takes 3 minutes and 7 seconds for a signal emanated by the deep space network to reach Mars. But when Earth and Mars are at the farthest apart, it takes 20 minutes and 57 seconds to transmit the same radio signal. The communication lasts 7 minutes longer. Due to these time delays, it is impossible to communicate with and control the rover in real time. When Earth and Mars are in conjugation at a at a distance, another problem arises. The distance is not as much as a problem as having the sun in the way. For it, for it produces a lot of radio interference, making communication almost impossible. Indeed, for distance of less than 10 solar radii around the sun, the thermal noise contribute it's quite severe, and and the use of amplifier at recep- reception still increases these difficulties. So our approach is based on providing a better mode of communication over the surface of of a Mars for a communication between Earth and Mars using a constellations of satellites on different orbits and maintaining their trajectory on a particular orbit will help not only in the Mars settlement but also in the deep space communication. We will be using system of relay satellites and will provide a solution for decreasing the distortion signals. Stationary orbits around Mars, which are known as stationary orbit, have similar characteristics as Earth's geometric stationary orbits. An aerostationary relay satellite is expected to be used for future communication network for the exploration of the Mars. An aerostationary relay satellite it's at 17,000 kilometers above Mars surface is always in the same place in the sky on Mars, receiving data from the rover and low mass orbits and transmitting it to an Earth station. The aerostationary satellites enables almost all-time communication. We will define code division, multiply access communication systems between various assets, such as rovers on Mars surface, low mass orbits, such as, such as MROs, CubeSats in vicinity of Mars. Now, how to avoid the losses of the signal? The satellites will have the capability to find the shortest path to send the data and conduct data backups simultaneously. On multiple satellites, once the data reaches multiple satellites, the data is shared among all other satellites with computing nodes. Any from any form of data such as images, text files, voice recordings can be broken into small chunks of data and communicate via satellite. Using the backchain concept, the data is copied on a multiple computation nodes on the satellite. Each station varies the validity of the messages by checking the signature to be true. The data can be proceeded to next station. If the uh, signature is corrupted in between, the signature will not with the majority of the nodes, and such corrupted data can be placed by authentic data. The signal keeps finding new computing nodes with every passing satellites and tries to piggyback the data to Earth. At each station, the data validity can be checked and the data can be reconstructed on the ground station. Now, my colleague Jaspreet Singh will be carry on from here.
Am I audible, Pankaj?
Yes, you are audible, Jaspreet.
Oh, thank you. So, like here, I want to give a brief about this thing. So here we will be using a concept of blockchain, and every satellite will see whether 51% of data is received or not. If it is received, then it will transfer it to the next satellite. But if it is not, then it will save it at its drive, and then it will just merge the data that's coming from the Mars or from Martians, and then it will transfer it to Earth. Next slide, Pankaj. Okay, so here we have shown the basic how the image compression will work. Like suppose we have sent an image from Mars and we are trying to get it on Earth. So here we have given you a like a graph, like diagram, block diagram, that how it will work. So the strategy of previous stereo image compression work, including that of has been compress the image with conventional methods, produce an approximate right image from the left image and correlation information, and compress the residual image from subtracting the approximate right image from the actual right image. The residual right image can be compressed more easily than the original right image. Here you can see like we have put it like left and right image on the top and bottom. And the correlation information generally consists of disparity vectors that indicate offsets similar regions of the left and right images. So during encoding, correlation remaining in the quantized subband data is exploited in two ways. First, the value of a sample is predicted from previously encoded sample, so that only the difference between the sample and the predicted value needs to be included. A model is maintained of the statistics of sample within each context, allowing the samples to be compressed more effectively. This process is known for context modeling. Finally, the samples are loosely encoded with the help of their estimated value and context statistics in the entropy coding stage. So this is how we are going to encode and decode images from Mars to Earth, or we can send it to like ISS if there will be a setup though ISS is going to retire in like next year, I think. Next slide, please, Pankaj. So what are the future approaches of this? Like, what is the future scope? Like in science, we deal with the future. What will be the future of the tech or something like this? So in generally, there are like 4 or 5 things that can be the future thing of this model. There are a lot of future scope for this. The model will lead to the set and ideal way of communication over Mars like Earth. It will be simple for future human settlers on Mars to communicate. We can get more data and can explore the universe in far better way. In today's world, the private industries are leading in space sector, and this scenario can be used as a business model, and which will give us a way to make the model economically fair and advanced. Like right now, we are seeing that countries who are like countries who are in the continent of Africa, or like islands, like countries that are islands, they don't have a huge success in space sector. But as the tech will change, as the economy will grow, then definitely they will have a good part there in this all space tech. Next slide, Pankaj. So here are the references that we have taken from certain papers. We have taken a lot of help from Gladen Rees and CD Adverse to do the literature view and analyzing the data. Next slide. So I would like to thank Julio for giving such a wonderful opportunity, and our professor Sudhir Chaturvedi for his guidance, and my teammate Pankaj Yadav to making this work, making getting this concept to a model. And at last, I want to thank all of you for listening to our PPT, and we would love to have questions if you have any. Thanks a lot.